Okay, I have got such a great meal for you guys today. This is a Quinoa Edamame Tabbouleh. Now that may sound kind of foreign to you, but it really is all stuff that you can get right at your grocery store. In fact, I'm going to throw my quinoa in the pot because I've got some chicken broth going, a couple of cups. This is quinoa, guys. It's basically a super grain. A super grain, isn't that sophisticated? And it is actually one of the healthiest grains you can eat. It's actually an ancient super grain. So I've got my gorgeous, ooh, that looks so good. My chicken broth going, and I'm just going to give this a quick mix, and I'm going to put this on medium heat and let this thing go for about 12 to 15 minutes. And let me just fix that. So basically, tabbouleh, you guys, is a Middle Eastern wonderful salad. And what's so great about this is that the quinoa gives it this wonderful, a little bit of crunch. And then I'm adding in some other tasty tidbits. I've got edamame I'm going to put into it, which are just wonderful soybeans. You can get these. I buy them frozen in the organic section at the grocery store, and they're so good. It's actually one of our kids' favorite snacks. And then some beautiful tomatoes. I've got some cucumbers, which I've already cut in half, and you know, I always scrape the middles out so that there's not all that wet in your salad, and sprinkle a little salt on them so they weep some of the water out, so that when you're eating your salad it's not a bunch of mushy stuff. And while we're talking, I'm actually just going to get my parsley going, because one of the wonderful things about tabbouleh is that it is so healthy. You know, parsley is wonderful for you as well. And what I do with my parsley, I use an entire bunch of parsley. As you can see, I just kind of get it all on there. And you know, if the stems look really fresh, don't get too picky here, but I use my mezzaluna and I chop it up. This was actually my grandma's mezzaluna that I still use to this day. If you guys don't have one of these, it's one of the greatest tools you can have. Even our kids are comfortable using it. And while that's cooking, I'm just going to get some of my other little goodies ready to roll. I fell in love with tabbouleh years ago. I just think it's one of the healthiest, most delicious things you can eat. And it's also, you guys know me, I love anything, of course, it's got cream or butter in it. But I also love really wonderful, healthy things too. And of course, having 4 little kids, we've got to eat a lot of healthy foods as well. So greens and things are great in our family. So these are just scallions, and I'm going to need about 1/2 cup of them. And I'm just going to chop those up, you know, just kind of a rough chop, nothing too fancy. And this is what also will give the salad a nice snap. And then I use lemon juice in it, and some olive oil. It's about one of the easiest salads that you guys can make. And what's also great about it, or what I love about it, is I'm always trying to find things that I can make for dinner that then I can take to work the next day, you know, to the studio, so that John and I can have, you know, just a great lunch, a great healthy lunch the next day. So basically, I have all my ingredients ready to go, and I'm just gonna check the quinoa, and we'll see how that's doing. Okay, my quinoa is certainly almost ready. In the meantime, I have to make myself another cup of tea. You guys probably wonder, how many cups of tea am I making while I'm cooking? It depends on if it's the daytime I'm cooking, or is it the nighttime, and am I having a little glass of wine? You know, it just all depends. But I don't know, somehow it just keeps me going. Okay, so my quinoa is surely got to be done by now. And I'm going to show you how you can tell. Now, here's the deal with quinoa, or you know, any of these types of things you're cooking. If it seems like the bottom of the pan is dry and it still has a little further to go, then just give it another little squirt of water, a little bit more chicken broth. I love cooking this kind of stuff with chicken broth because it always gives it, ooh, it looks good, always gives it more flavor. So you know how it was kind of opaque when we started? Well, now it's sort of translucent, and the little tails, the little germ, if you will, kind of spins out on it, and you can tell it's kind of fluffy and pretty. Isn't this beautiful though? You guys are gonna love quinoa. If it's not something that is a regular in your pantry, you are gonna so dig it, because not only, like I said, it's one of the healthiest grains. It's got apparently like all 8 amino acids. It's so great for you. So hang on, let's just see. And I can tell it's because it's got this little snap to it, and you can totally taste the chicken broth in it, which is amazing. Now, unfortunately, I, of course, am going to have quinoa in my tea. That's a good look. You love that, right? Okay, so here's what gets even easier, you guys. This is such a yummy Such a yummy, healthy recipe. Let's put it all together. So, quinoa's done. It's nice and hot, which is fine. You know, the great thing about it still being warm right now is that it will actually allow your flavors to meld a little bit more, you know, that little bit of heat. And the beautiful, beautiful edamame, I mean, how gorgeous are those? Yum. I hope your family loves this as much as ours does. And really, you can make it one day and then eat it, you know, the next day as well. I also love the addition of some pecans, and, you know, I just roughly chopped these, you know, whatever. I leave my grape tomatoes whole because I'm such a leftovers girl that I love the next day that they're not all, you know, gunky and mushy. You know how tomatoes get when you put them in the refrigerator? I don't like them like that at all. The cucumbers are great right now because I put a little bit of salt on them. So a lot of the water has weeped out of them. Beautiful parsley, garlic, which is wonderful. Look how beautiful. I mean, you can tell this is healthy just by all the amazing colors. And then I'm going to, you know, roll your lemons a little bit to get them all ready for you. I'm going to add some lemons into this, some lemon juice into this. And I'm going to add some olive oil, some freshly cracked pepper. Let me get rid of those seeds. You guys go away. Okay, so it's about, you know, a couple of lemons is about what you're going to want in it, and oh, that's perfect. Look at how wonderful and gorgeous and healthy this is going to be. So get your lemons in there. Okay, that might be about enough. The other thing, I sometimes add like a wee bit of vinegar. It just depends on how, oh, there's a seed, lemony vinegary you like your things. My husband John tends to not like vinegar as much as I do. I'm one of those people that will go around and take spoonfuls of it and just totally love it. My kids happen to take after me. So then, you know, you're gonna wanna give it a fair amount of salt and get your pepper, lots of pepper. I love lots of pepper on this sort of thing. Beautiful, keep going here. Okay, and then give it a good mix and just look at how yummy. So you can see that's nice, delicious mixture, all kinds of stuff you can add into it, but it smells so good because, of course, the garlic gives it that wonderful, yummy kick. And, of course, I will have a little bite with you guys because I know that you always like to have a little taste with me. So, and I add one more gorgeous addition to it. All right, so let's put this on a plate and see how very pretty that is. Now, ordinarily, oh, you know what I didn't do, you guys? Hang on, back in the bowl. Olive oil, of course, how can we forget our olive oil? It needs a good ½ cup of olive oil. See, I'm certain this must happen to you in your kitchen too. You're making stuff and all of a sudden you realize, what have I forgotten in this recipe? Okay, so my olive oil. Let me taste this before I add it on a plate. See, that's why I'm such a taster. All right, let's just make sure. Oh, you're gonna love it. Not as much as you like my opera singing, but you're gonna love it. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how very, very pretty this is. And the lemon makes it so wonderful, but then I have another wonderful treat to add on the top of it. Crumble some feta cheese. I totally dig feta cheese. I just think it's like the greatest taste. And since this kind of has a Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, flair, that will give it that extra wonderful taste, and it adds to the nutritional value of the meal. So let's just see here together. I know you can smell it. I know when I take this bite, you're gonna be able to taste it. It's so good. And the nuts are so crunchy, and it's healthy and wonderful. And if you don't eat it all on the first day, you are gonna be having this in your refrigerator for a couple of days. You might need a toothpick to get all that quinoa out of your teeth, but oh, you're gonna love it. Let me know what you think of this, guys.